Sorry, YouTube, I don't own the rights to that music in case it came through. If you hear any music, YouTube, I do not own the rights. I have no control. I'm outside. I'm walking and talking. So hopefully that'll suffice. They be having that old wild dog right there every day. Hey, Miss Key. Hey, Miss B. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Y'all know how I do. We just walking and talking, walking and talking. Thank you for stopping in, ladies, and thank you for saying hello. You guys, look, I I just put "What would you do" in the title because I was listening to Georgia Girl, and while I was listening to Georgia Girl, I was watching the news. Thank you for that thumbs up. I appreciate it. And on the news, you know, they got the stuff going on. It's really protest. It's not rioting. I'm sure they've had some situations where people, I saw a couple of cars burning, but I don't think it would have escalated to that had they not tried to make the people try to refuse their people their right to peacefully protest. And that's just like with everybody, y'all. When somebody tries to take something away from you or refuse you your rights, you get mad about it. You get mad. You got a good walking pace. Yeah, we gotta get that heel, feet, and toes, heel, feet, and toes, heel, feet, and toes. Gotta make sure we walk right. If you have knee problems, go ahead and move. Now, of course, you want to what? Always contact your primary health care provider before starting, restarting, changing, or stopping any exercise plan, routine, regimen, routine, or schedule. I think I said routine twice. Yeah, no, I always give that professional disclaimer because you never know who's going to get your live or see the replay. And if you have a professional license, certification, or registration to protect, you definitely need to give a professional disclaimer. Now, I know a lot of people give disclaimers, but listen, I have to give a professional and personalized disclaimer, okay? Because you never know who's going to see it. You never know what state of mind they're in. And you may be telling people something for the good, but they, have certain issues going on, and they may take something that you say that's meant for good and apply it to their situation. We talk over here, we talk generally. We're speaking general terms, okay? So if you're 100% healthy, you probably can do whatever you want to do. Even if you're not 100% healthy, you can probably do whatever you want to do. But whatever you do, don't do anything you see me do or hear me say over here. If you do so at your own risk. The information and the things that I say, they're nuggets. The chat, you guys put nuggets in the chat a lot of times about your routine, your schedule, your regimen. So when you listen to each other, just know and be sure to know that those are nuggets. I always say, take the nuggets, right, and research them. Do your own research. You know your health status. You know your fitness level. So make sure that anything that you hear from me or anyone online or anywhere, you can read it in a book. Talk with your primary healthcare provider and make sure that it can apply to you, okay? I don't know anybody who doesn't want us to move. Doctor, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant, your nutritionist, they want you to move. Help burn those calories. Your dietitian, your specialty doctor, if you had injuries in the past, physical therapists, occupational therapists, we hitting this hill, okay, y'all? And we're gonna keep walking and talking. They all want you to move, but you have to make sure that you're doing so at your level. Meet you where you are. You have to meet yourself where you are. Don't try to outdo your neighbor, your sister, your mother, your brother, your father, okay, your friends. We gotta pull. We're pulling this hill, okay? Imagine someone pulling you and imagine yourself pushing. Woo! Woo! Push. All right, and then you make it. Then you go down, okay? Work some other muscles and go down. All right, you gotta work those opposing muscles, remember. If you work these quads, you've got to work on these hamstrings, okay? Okay? You don't want to look one-sided. You don't want your legs to look all good in the front and just flat in the back, okay? Hey, Betty. Hey, Betty. Welcome in, Betty. Retirement Days, Comfort Foods and more. How is everybody doing today? So, listen to yourself. If you feel any discomfort, slow down and or stop. Pause. Take a break. Okay? And take some deep breaths in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So you slow down. You pause, you stop, and then you start back. You don't necessarily have to start back that day. You can, or you can wait till tomorrow or another day. But just stay committed. Stay committed. And if I'm missing y'all's comments, y'all know I stop every so often to look down because I have to keep my head on a swivel, okay? Have to pay attention to my surroundings and everything that's going on. And I appreciate you guys so much for being in here. All right? So, yes, your heart is the most important muscle in your body, right? So it needs to be worked, okay? You want to work your body, but don't overexert your body. Work your body, but make sure you don't, what I say over here, hurt your body. All right, that's my motto over here. You want to work, but you don't want to hurt. Stay within the realms of your capabilities, okay? Your heart is a pump. Right? It pumps the blood throughout your body. It carries those nutrients through all the cells of your body. Okay? Gets that blood going through the circulatory system, helps that lymph to move through the lymphatic system to help with your immune system, okay? All right? Miss B says, hey there, retirement days. And so we just keep moving. Some days we walk like this, you know. Some days we have a moderate walk. Some days we have a faster walk. Some days we just have a power walk, right? Heels, feet, and toes. Heels, feet, and toes. And you just keep moving consistently and be persistent about being consistent, okay? Keep moving. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep striving. Keep cruising and grooving. Hey, Beetle. Welcome to the chat, Beetle. Thank you, Retirement Days, Comfort Foods and more, for speaking to everybody. Thank you, Miss B. Hey there, Beetle. Thank you for catching me live. Y'all hear my friend? He's not, here he comes. I thought he was gonna stay up near the house today, but he's coming. Oh, he be having such an attitude with me. Look, how you doing? He always give me that look away. Thank you, Beetle, for speaking to everybody. So we'll probably, I'm not sure. I might do heels tomorrow, y'all. So last week, I do heels about 3 to 4 times a week, but I never do heels on here. So last week, I pull this kind of inclines that I have as I'm walking, but I do hills about 3 to 4 times. And last week, my plan was to do hills 5 days, and I did, but I didn't do them on here. I only did them on here once. I only did them on here once. So sometimes we do intervals. We walk, we jog, we skip, right? We try to run, but can't do that because when I run, holding this phone, it'll fly across the street. I ain't got time to be paying for no new phone right now, okay? So we kind of walk. Sometimes, again, we go at a snail's pace, right? We pick up a little bit at a moderate pace. We walk faster, right? We move with the purpose. We move with the purpose. And sometimes we power walk. Heel, feet, and toes, heel, feet, and toes. Here we go. Heel, feet, and toes, heel, feet, and toes. Here we go. Heels, feet, and toes. All right? Make sure you put a little swivel in your hips. Move those hips. We got action. We got some traffic. So y'all know we just keep moving. We march. We march. March in place. We keep moving, though we're not moving, okay? We keep moving, though we're not moving. And we go. Let's go. I think we'll do 30 minutes because I've been coming on later and later. Because y'all know I don't mind walking in the night, at night. But I have another project that I'm working on. So I have to give a little time to that as well. So we just keep moving, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. But you guys know I recommend that you get up for an hour each day, right? Do some type of cardiovascular aerobic activities, right? Work those lungs as well as the heart, okay? Move those legs. Look at the legs moving. Watch the legs and feet move. Look at the legs and feet move. Be encouraged. Whatever movement you have, if you haven't done it today, be encouraged to get up and do it. What's going on, bro? Sugar Daddy One Williams. Welcome into the chat. How you doing, bro? Hey, friend, tapping in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I see you every now and again over there still gaming. Still gaming. I see you. So we just move, and don't think about it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. Keep moving. Consistency is key. Don't think about it. Just do it. Thank you, Miss B, for speaking to Beetle and Sugar Daddy. My bro, Sugar Daddy. What's been going on, Sugar Daddy? I'm sure it's still work. Work. Let me see your work. We're going to go sideways. Then we're going to walk. Sugar Daddy, you a mess. Don't you come over here and get in trouble. Don't you start no trouble now. So sometimes, again, we do intervals. We got their walk going on. I'm trying to be nosy. Okay. I can't even jog for being nosy. Okay. Threw myself off trying to be nosy. Sugar Dad said, what's good? What's good, Miss B and fam? So remember, deep breaths in. We're going to slow down for a minute. And out. Belly breathe. In and out. Deep breath in and out. It is best to breathe in through your nose to filter out all of the dirt, okay? And out through your mouth. But if your exercise is at an increased intensity, it's okay to breathe in through your nose and your mouth. Whatever gets you enough oxygen, okay? In and out. In and out. Remember, it's not just about your physical. It's about your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional. Okay? Heart, mind, body, and soul. All right? You guys hear that ambulance? Wherever it is going, I hope that the person is okay. I hope that they end up being okay. Okay? Wherever that ambulance is going, let's pray and hope that the person will be okay. So, we slow down sometimes and focus on the breathing in, pull in that oxygen, pull in that O2. Pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, and out. Exhale through your mouth. If you need to, use your nose and your mouth. Okay? If you need to, inhale through your nose and your mouth. But remember, the nose, your nares, they have those natural filters, okay? Because when we inhale the oxygen, whatever's in the environment, it's just out here. And thankfully, our bodies have those filters in the nose, and hopefully you just kind of get most of that stuff filtered, okay? Get it in, get it in. Oxygenate, oxygenate your body. And release, exhale. Let that CO2, that carbon dioxide and other waste, let it out. Inhale, pull in that O2. Exhale, release the CO2 and other waste, okay? Release the CO2 and other waste. Your heart is the most important muscle in your body. Just like you work all other muscles, you want to work your heart as well, but you don't want to overextend, all right? Let me see. Who is that? Summers Museum shouted me in. How you doing? How you doing? I don't know how long you've been in here, but welcome into the chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming. Thank you for coming in. Yes, sometimes we got to do things different ways, okay? We got to do things different ways. There's a reason to walk with your toes, okay? There's a reason to walk with your toes. But we try to address everybody. So get up and just move. Move with a purpose. This is usually our purpose, okay? But your purpose may be like this, all right? Your purpose may be to lose weight. Your purpose may be to just get a mental release, to relieve some stress, to improve your fitness level. And if it's to improve, you don't have to get out there and race, all right? You don't have to run. Just make sure that you're doing something. Make sure that you're moving. Make sure that you're moving. Your body will appreciate it. Your heart, mind, body, and soul will appreciate it. They'll appreciate it. And watch where you're going. See that, those crevices? Get that foot, get caught up in there, and ooh. That foot get caught up in there. That's why you can't read a lot of times, can't read the chat. Like I said, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You have to watch your surrounding, okay? If you can walk and talk, that is a great sign of your fitness level. But listen, if you cannot walk and talk comfortably, you'll be a little bit winded, of course, especially if you're hitting steep inclines and going back up those steep inclines, going uphill. If you jog a little bit, if you run, and then you're trying to hold the phone, especially if you're online, you're going to be a little bit winded, right? The best people are. They're human. But listen to yourself and know when you're doing too much. Listen to yourself. Listen to the playback. And sometimes it takes people to hear, to know that maybe they need to slow down next time. All right? Just slow down. You'll get to where you want to get. Okay? You'll get to where you want to get. The more you do it, the more you want to do it. But it is absolutely okay to take breaks sometimes. Sometimes we need to take breaks, But stay focused. Stay focused. So if you have to take breaks, or if you just feel the need to take breaks, not really that you have to, but sometimes I got to make sure I check my legs. Felt like something was trying to bite me, trying to get me. You can put on all the insect repellent that you want, and sometimes they're going to still find a way. They're going to still find a way to get somewhere on you and bite you. I'm telling you. So I hope you guys have been having a wonderful week. I hope that you have had a wonderful Wednesday. I hope that you plan on and that you continue to have a wonderful week. As you know, once hump day comes around, the weekend is here before you know it. thank you guys for those thumbs up. I appreciate you. You know, again, I don't beat you up about the thumbs up. I appreciate you being here. That is not the only way to support, right? If you say hello in the chat, or if you say hello in the replay in the comment section, if you give a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, consider subscribing. And once you subscribe, ring my doorbell, okay? My doorbell is that YouTube notification bell, and tap all so that you'll be notified every time I upload a short or go live, because I'm primarily a shorts channel. That's what we do. We do shorts. So go check out the shorts table, because we focus on shorts over here, but we do go live every day. Almost every day. Almost every day. We skip some days. Sometimes, you know, we get busy, right? Sometimes we get busy, so we might miss a day or two. But remember to keep moving. Even if you don't have time, you know, it's hot. A lot of people don't like the heat, just like when it's cold. A lot of people don't like to be outside and it's cold. Walk around the perimeter of your home so that if you get too hot or you get too cold, you can go inside. If you don't even want to go outside that much, walk around the biggest room of your home and do laps. Do laps, okay? Walk around several rooms of your home and do laps. If you are a person who likes to count steps, get you a watch and pay attention to your steps, okay? Hopefully you'll have a watch that will also monitor your heart rate, right? Your O2 saturation, right? Learn what the normal parameters are and try your best to stay within those normal parameters. Now, that being said, certain people's normal is different from the general population. So find out what's your normal for you and your health situation, your fitness level, and stay within those ranges, okay? Stay within those ranges. And remember, it's not always necessary to focus on the number of steps. Just focus on the fact that you're stepping one foot in front of the other. You're moving, okay? Sometimes that discourages people, getting so focused on a particular part of the plan. Knowing your steps is a good thing if that's what you like knowing. But don't get so focused. Hey, Georgia girl, welcome in, welcome in. Don't get so focused that you start to pay too much attention. Get you a watch, if you would like, so that you can know how many steps you've made during that particular workout section. If you want to know, if you want to walk 30 minutes, have your watch so that you'll know how many steps you did in that 30 minutes, okay? Or how many miles or kilometers, however it measures it for your watch, right? You'll know your heart rate, okay? You'll know your O2 saturation if you have a watch that's sophisticated enough to show you that, right? So if you're focused on steps, but I really don't encourage people to focus on steps initially, especially initially, because sometimes you'll hear other people talk about how many steps they've done, and you're thinking, I only did this many. And that might discourage you. Thank you, George Girl. I appreciate you. George Girl says, hi, host in chat. That might discourage you. So don't let that discourage you. The important part is that you're moving. Just like I said earlier with walk and talk. We over here, we walk and talk. But some days we just walk. Maybe there's nobody in the chat, or maybe I just don't want to talk. Again, walking and talking is a great sign of your fitness level, but it can also hinder you. Some people aren't to that point of walking and talking for the whole time that they're walking, but they'll still try and do it anyway because they've heard other people talk about it. The most important component is your walking, you're moving, not moving your mouth, okay? The moving your mouth, you can say that for later, okay? Listen to yourself. Pay attention to how you sound. Listen to how your body feels. Remember? Right? We got 5 senses, right? Well, actually, we have more than 5, but okay, right? So we want to mix 2 of them up. We want to hear, listen to how our body feels, okay? Listen to how your body feels, right? If you need to slow down, slow down. See, the legs are still moving. Look at the legs moving. Look at the feet moving. By the grace of God, they're still moving. Slow down. Let them keep moving. Move those arms. Some days we have on the ankle weights. Some days we don't. It just depends on how I feel. Listen to how your body feels. Sometimes I have on the wrist weights. Sometimes I don't. Depends on how your body feels. Thank you, Georgia girl. I appreciate it. I'm going to get off here in about 5 minutes because I'm working on another project. You know, let me tell you, when you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, sometimes it's good to have more than one egg in the basket, okay? Because when you start focusing on that one egg, after a while you start to realize, I could also be doing this over here or on this platform or on another social media platform, and you can be building. Remember when TikTok went out for what, 24 hours or so? Nobody thought it would happen. And now they think, oh, they're just messing with us. Well, let me tell you, that law is still in place. This president is just not acting on it. So whoever owns TikTok pisses him off or makes him mad, guess what? First thing he's going to do is threaten to pull TikTok. All those people that had money tied up into TikTok, they were looking like, what? Are we going to get paid? What are we going to do? So thankfully, though, it came back up. But see, a lot of people think, see, that's the thing about people. When you have something around for so long, just because it makes money, generates money, people love to say, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. You got Macy's across this country closing right now. How long has Macy's been around? Sears, Roebuck. If anybody remembers Sears, Sears was around for decades. Finally closed. Kmart. Is there a Kmart in your area? Finally closed. So just because something is, and you might say, well, they stopped making money. Online business put them out of business. That could be true. That's part of it. But never say never, okay? Never say never. Nobody thought that would happen with TikTok. And the main people still talking about, oh, it ain't going nowhere, it ain't going nowhere. All it takes is the president to get in the right mood and say, go ahead and implement that. All it takes is the next president to say, you know what? They reinstated it, but I didn't like it. It'll be gone again. Any social media platform. So it's good to have eggs in more than one basket, okay? Eggs in more than one basket. So remember, your heart is the muscle, the most important muscle in your body, right? Work, work, work. But if you feel any discomfort, slow down and or stop. Slow down, stop. Okay? Slow down and or stop. And also, talk with your healthcare team if you need to. Talk with your healthcare team. You know I eat M&Ms over here. We eat M&Ms over here in Lions Pride, right? We're walking and talking and we talk about health and fitness, but what do? We eat M&Ms over here. What kind of M&Ms do I eat? Moderation and modification. M&Ms. Hey, Uno, welcome to the chat. Hey, how you doing, Uno? Sometimes we have to eat certain things in moderation and certain exercises we have to do in moderation, right? Sometimes we have to modify our diet and change it up. Some exercises we've been doing, we have to modify those. So we eat M&Ms over here, and that's what the M&Ms are. Moderation and modification. Y'all thought y'all was gonna have some of those little M&Ms, the little yellow and brown packs in you. Nope. M&Ms over here. Moderation, modification, modification, moderation. How you doing, Uno? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So we're just walking and talking. It's a what would you do Wednesday? What would you do in any circumstances? What would you do if you were faced with the situation going on out in LA? You got ICE workers, you got police officers, you got the military, you got the guard, you got 4 areas of law enforcement. Actually, the military should not really be being used as law enforcement because it's not that bad yet, but you got 4. What would you do if it suddenly seemed like your town had been taken and under siege? What would you do? Would you just be like, you know what? Forget going to work. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to work until all of this is calmed down. Possibly losing your job if they don't allow you to work from home. What would you do? There are some places that are closing up early. So they're going to tell you you can't come. If they may not be able, you may not be able to work from home for those certain jobs. So that means you're not making any money. What would you do? What would you do? I'm doing well, thank you. How long are you on your walk? I've been going for like 31 minutes. 31 minutes. Probably about to get out of here in another 5 to 10 minutes. What would you do if your town was suddenly under siege by the government that's supposed to protect you? What would you do about work, about school? Now there are curfews. So some people don't want to go out, even though you can be, because they just don't want to have the encounter. You have some overzealous officers, from what I've been seeing, just starting fights with people because they think that now they're above the law. So what would you do? I would go to the grocery store, work from home if I could, and stay at home. Because my mouth ain't gonna let nobody, think they can disrespect me. As long as you're human and your name isn't God, if you can dish out disrespect, you can take disrespect. How them hokers treat you? I got about, I've been wearing hokers for about 2 years now, and I love them. Every now and again, I'll switch up on the type, but pretty much I love them. Yeah, I hadn't just got them. I was just putting on an insert. Somebody had asked me about inserts in a comment section of a video. So I was just showing them my inserts. But yeah, I've been on to hokers now for like about 2 years. And New Balance is my favorite shoe. But honestly, if I'm honest with myself, hokers are my favorite. I just have a loyalty to New Balance. Because hokers popped up and showed out, okay? They popped up and showed out. Thank you, Georgia girl. Welcome in, everyone. Thumbs up this. Okay, thumbs up the hoes, y'all. Thumbs up the hoes, y'all. Know I don't be beating y'all up about that. But we appreciate it. So what would you do? I saw videos today of officers just trying to start mess. I saw a lady get hit with a rubber bullet right up on her. She wasn't doing anything. So now it's about, if you don't move fast enough for that particular officer, me not moving fast enough could be them saying, hey, go there. And you turn around to look to see who said it, and you don't move there, pop, they shooting out rubber, you know what, okay? So what I would do is I would, within curfew hours, go to work if I could. And then I would take my butt to get the necessities, those needed things. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all be thinking people be sounding paranoid, but you better stock up. There are certain things that you should always be stocked up on, but you better stock up. And keep thinking that you're exempt from this BS. Keep thinking that your race makes you exempt, or that your socioeconomic status makes you exempt. We have a fool. I'm sorry, YouTube, freedom of speech. I know he's trying to shut everybody down from having freedom of speech. He's trying to limit the press. You go into the press rooms, it's only 5 or 6 people up in there. We still have freedom of speech. That Constitution still exists. Okay? So you got men around here with no basketballs, because the reason they're not saying anything is because he's setting the standard. One day they're going to want to do the same thing he's doing. So that's why they're not saying anything, because they're afraid. They're afraid of becoming a minority. Let me tell you something. The detention centers are overfull. You can send however many people you want to send out of this country. It is not going to change the browning of this country. All right? So some of y'all might like that. Some of y'all won't. If you don't like it, keep moving. Because we each have a channel. We each have a platform to discuss and talk about whatever we want to talk about. And what's going on in LA is bull. Okay? This channel ain't made for kids. And we try to keep it cute. But we call a duck. Because if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it is a what? Duck. Okay? Uno said, I love hokers. He said, hey, Georgia girl. Let's see. Uno says, I'm Latina, and I'm just waiting for an ICE officer question me. I'm a former, okay, Army Ranger, went overseas, and you want to question my legal status? Come on, Uno. Exactly. Georgia Girl says, hi, Uno. I'm going to do one more lap, y'all, then I'm going to go in. Because it is getting dark, and like I said, I'm trying to do more than just one thing. You know, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got a lot of stuff. So again, y'all, if you love social media, make sure that you have maybe 2 outlets, right? 2 things that you do, okay? Because again, you never know. Nobody thought, I was saying earlier, nobody thought that they would shut TikTok down, not even for a day or for a few hours, but they just showed you what they can do. And now that this country seems to be under the leadership of a dictator, or what he would call himself a king. Who the hell has a, just because your birthday falls on the birthday of the army, and I mean, you sorry piece of ish. You wouldn't even serve in the military. You made excuses. What was it? Heel spurs? You wouldn't even serve, but you want to command these people? And then they're showing these images of him talking in front of people at an army base. And of course, you got a few racists up in there that was enjoying it, but you got other people behind him. They're just being used as a stage, an image, with his uneducated behind, with no rhythm, up there beating the air up with his fist. Man, you didn't even, and he's not the only president who has not served, okay? But he is the only one, to my knowledge, who used the basic excuses not to go. And not only that, allegedly informed his family that they better not go. So, but you wanna control these men, and then you have these men who you have disrespected, men and women, soldiers, who have served this country, and you don't want them to. You're renaming these bases after these people who lost the war. Fort Braggs, Fort Lee. You want to name it after these people who lost. They lost. Get over it. The name changed. You want to remove the names of African Americans, Native Americans, and any other. They say minority. We're not minorities, y'all. Apparently, we're priorities because they're jealous. If you're black, you're African American, you're Latino, you're not a minority. That's what they mad at. Okay? That's what they mad at. So yeah, some of those guys probably were picking up what he was putting down. But a lot of them was just there for a photo op because they had to be there. All right? Like Uno, he has served. What you look like coming up on this man asking for papers? Be careful out there, Lions. Take care of yourself and take care of George Good. Thank you, Uno, so much, and thank you for your service. We appreciate you. Okay? Even though this particular climate that we're living in right now, you got a bunch of idiots who may not. We appreciate you because your service is just as good as theirs. Your service is just as good as theirs. When I was a kid, when they would say, thank you for your service, I would be like, why are they always saying that? Like, okay, they're in the military. To me, it was almost like being redundant. But as I got older, I learned why. As I dealt with the military, I learned why. To tell someone thank you for your service is one of the best things you can say to a person who has served in the military. Okay? It's one of the most respectful things you can say. And mean it. If you say it, mean it. Hey, bro, what's going on? Chef Fine as Wine. Welcome to the live. Georgia Girl says, okay, Uno. Thank you, Uno. You be careful out there, too. Look at these fireflies, y'all. So what do y'all call them in your area? Fireflies? Lightning bugs? You see him? Look at him. Do y'all call them fireflies or do you call them lightning bugs? What's going on, Lawrence? Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Chef. Hey, my brothers. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live, y'all. And again, the title is, what would you do? What would you do if you had? Because I'm seeing a lot of videos, y'all, with these officers. Because let me say this about officers. There are some great officers. There are some great law enforcement officers. But whatever job we do, we chose, right? Maybe we chose it because we wanted to. Maybe we chose it because it was a family tradition. If you chose to be in law enforcement, just remember, and many of them do, many of them are great. You being in law enforcement does not make you a better human being than anybody else. It does not give you the right to break the law. And that is a problem that I'm seeing right now in LA. Overzealous law enforcement officers hitting people with these rubber bullets for simply asking and not giving their badges, badge numbers, or or their names. Okay? So we have a tyrant right now, and I hope people of color who voted for this, if you think that he is stopping at brown people, see, we always want to talk about, well, they don't do that for us. They sometimes they don't, but you can never put everybody in the same bucket. You have some people who want to resist tyranny, whatever, no matter what color, no matter who they're at the particular time, right? I know a lot of the rights and a lot of the things that our people got beat for, hosed for, a lot of other races, a lot of other nationalities that come here to America, they get to benefit off of the freedoms and the acts that our people got put in place. I know that. It gets annoying, but hey, that's not their fault, actually. If something was put in place specifically for Latinos, right, and it started to help African Americans, would we not be good with it? So it's not their fault. It's the powers that be. It's those that look like Dump and who think like Dump, because not everyone who looks like him is like him. It's them. They decide to ration out the benefits to people, no matter who fought for those benefits. We fought for a lot during the 60s. All right, the Voting Rights Act, a whole lot of stuff. You know, when it was segregated, we fought to be able to go to a restroom without someone attacking you if you went to the wrong one. Drink from a water fountain without someone telling you to drink from the one that was out there with the dogs. Come into the front entrance without being made to go through the back entrance. We fought for a lot of that. And there are a lot of other things, even more crucial and critical, that we fought for, right? Had bills passed and signed into law to help us. And it seems like they don't help us as much as they help other people. All right? Clean it and listen. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. So it's so sad. It's so sad that everybody's being quiet. Like, why are people so afraid of this unintelligent man? And again, it's going to take somebody within to, maybe they won't be able to put a stop to a lot of this stuff, but to expose a lot of what we already know is going on by the stuff that we are exposed to. But there's some more stuff going on, right? When he and Ilana were fussing, I knew that wasn't going to last, because guess what? He holds the pens that handles a lot of Ilana's money. Ilana's being sued by a lot of people, a lot of government suits. So he just got a little mad, got a little pissed off. But now he's basically apologizing. He just made himself look weak. You look like a fool when you got on that stage with that chainsaw. Don't ever try to come off as strong again, because you just made yourself look weak. He was so mad, he got up there on Twitter and said something about exposing Dump and Jeffrey. And what happened? You have done that now. Now you've ticked him off. And now you're thinking about these governmental contracts that you have. And now you want to apologize? Now you want to apologize? Do you not think he'll accept you back? He'll accept you back on the sheer notion that now he's got you where he wants you. He'll accept you back now on the sheer notion that he knows it'll make a lot of American citizens mad. That the little spat didn't last. I knew it wasn't going to last, but I didn't know Ilana was going to mess himself up so much. So, what would you do, though, if you lived in LA? Because they keep saying that LA is the test run. LA is the test run. He hates LA. You have a lot of people who are on their high horses about S3X movies and entertainment business and all that kind of stuff. They hate LA anyway. So that's where they started. It'll probably be New York next. Because if I'm not mistaken, he lost New York both elections that he won. But it's gonna be. Okay, I'm back. I had to mute real quick. So it's gonna be What other cities do you think he hates a lot? Chicago, New York, and the red states. Louis, he's gonna do. See, people in the red states, they're gonna be a little bit less reluctant to rise up, but when they do, he's gonna hit the what? Somewhere in uh, Louisiana, Texas, Florida. So it's a trial run. It's a test run. And he started so early in his administration, so early in this term, because he knows he can't run again. They run here with these 2028 pins and all this kind of stuff, but he knows he can't run again. And that might be, people might just have to deal with it until the end. One in his comrades finally gonna say, look, we let him set the precedent. Now he got away with all that. We know that we can get away with it. It's time for him to go. So a lot of people are saying, well, he ain't messing with us. Get rid of him, get rid of him. Get rid of him, why? Those people work jobs that many of us don't want to work. And if they get deported, we're not going to work. But see, what Dump is relying on is that, yes, y'all will, because I'm removing all federal jobs, getting y'all out of all good federal jobs. Y'all going to have to end up working the jobs that the brown people worked. So y'all better pay attention. Sometimes, whether you like it or not, you got to join forces. You got to join forces. And it's so sad to say with the AA community, we can never join forces with each other. We got people of other races that'll join forces with us to help our cause before many of us will. One, because a lot of times we're afraid. We'll talk the talk. Whoa, we ain't our ancestors and yada, 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 yada. But then when it's time to walk the walk, they meek, mild, and like my grandma say, they meek their ass down now and mild and quiet. And if you go out there if you want to, what happened to we're not our ancestors? Y'all act like y'all tough. We tough, right? So if we're not our ancestors, we're supposed to be learning from what they went through and expounding on that, being tougher. Now, we're not going to be fools, of course. But there comes a point sometimes when there has to be a revolution. But our people are still too busy with the small stuff. I know y'all saw what happened in Las Vegas. Still too busy with that type of stuff. 40, 50 years old and older. Too busy with that type of stuff. They're not even saying anything. The celebrities aren't even saying anything about what's going on out there in LA. Right there where they are. Some of them because they're afraid of Dump. Look at Snoop Dogg. I don't have a grain of respect for him anymore. You talked all that ish, and then you bow down. And now there's a time when the NBA, they always say the NBA is the first to say something. I ain't heard nothing. And they are, when it comes to sports, they usually step up before the NFL because we already know the NFL is only going to do so much. They're gonna allow a certain amount of protest. After that, be quiet. Or work with us the way we want you to work with us when it comes to race relations and things like that. Certain laws. Work with us the way we want you to, the way the owners want you to. But the NBA owners are usually a little bit more lenient. They pay attention to who makes the money in the NBA. Right? But for some reason with this, only a few coaches have spoken out. And I guess some people are just tired. I get that. It's like, because y'all voted for this, this is their thinking. Y'all voted for this, y'all get this. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the people who he is going after voted for him. And a lot of those people are on social media, they're on the news networks, crying, sad, and upset. So what I'm telling my fellow African Americans, even if you feel like this is not your fight, if he's able to accomplish what he wants to accomplish with, I'm not gonna call people aliens, with illegal, and in a lot of cases, legal immigrants. What do you think is gonna happen once he's done all he can with them? Have you not been listening to him talk about potentially having other contracts with other countries for prisons? Huh? A lot of y'all be on Michael Jordan talking about the privatization of prisons and what he's doing with prisons and other actors and movie stars and sports folks and stuff. So if he makes these countries with deals with these other countries to take the illegal immigrants, and in a lot of cases, legal immigrants, getting rid of as many brown people as he can, putting a travel ban on African nations and certain other European nations, certain, not many. That's a way to keep black people out. Because a lot of us are thinking, well, they can't send us back to Africa. Okay, they did try that a couple of 100 years ago. They did try it. So I guess you're thinking, keep thinking what somebody can't do. You should never think what someone can't do. Always think what they shouldn't do, what you don't plan to allow them to do, and what they will try to do. Think of it that way. Don't think about what somebody can't do, because when they're in positions of authority, many people can do whatever they choose. And as we see, the Supreme Court will allow it. Certain judges have been trying to fight, standing with the Constitution. The Supreme Court has even made a couple of stands, but they've also allowed some stuff too, okay? They've also allowed some stuff too. We only have one African American on the Supreme Court and one Latino. Those two women. Now, Miss Comey, what's her name? Comey Barrett. She adopted a couple of black kids, but it's not the same. Clarence Thomas is not black, even though he's around here looking like Stephen from Django. Free speech, YouTube. See, a lot of the stuff these platforms let us do at each other, they'll shut your live down for saying certain things. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if you feel like he's at them. It's not a them kind of thing. I know a lot of us are upset because a lot of things our people fought for. Other people get the benefit of it. But at some point, you got to put the swords down and say, F that. We got to join hands. Because when he gets done doing whatever he wants to do with brown people and locking the doors to the country to black and other people, what do you think is going to go on with the black people in this country? A lot of y'all be thinking, oh, that's dramatic. They too woke. No, that's why we are where we are now. Enough people weren't woke enough, black, brown, and white. Weren't woke enough. Why do you think he keeps saying get rid of woke in this? Why would you want to get rid of wokeness? Why would you not want people to be aware of their history? Is it the old saying is if you forget history, you're bound to repeat it? Well, that's what he wants. He wants to erase it, remove it. And he has literally brainwashed some African American people to think that he is for them, that they did better under him. We had a whole pandemic that wasn't addressed the right way with a clown president that was in his 70s standing on the balcony as if he was Superman. Didn't want to give you the little money that when he sent that letter out about that you got for the pandemic, he didn't want to do that, and he didn't do that. Congress did that. He didn't really want to sign that into law. Congress controls the purse strings. When are people going to realize that? Now, that being said, we do have a ridiculous Congress right now. So the next election, if you want to see any inkling of change, you've got to get out. And you've got to hope. You've got to get out, and you've got to hope that Ilana doesn't flip those elections. Because he's basically already told y'all when he said if it wasn't for him, conservatives wouldn't have won the House, the Senate, or the presidency. If that don't tell y'all something, him saying that, I don't know what to tell you. I guess that's just woke people talking through Ilana. They possessed Ilana for a minute, right? Pay attention. You can't do it all by yourself. No, you can't. But stop thinking that way. Start thinking strength in numbers. Start thinking strength in numbers. Do you guys do community activism in here? A lot of times you can go to your local government because they're trying to add another store that's not needed or take away something. And you can fight and resist. And strength is in numbers. A lot of times they'll shut down the council meeting because there's too many people. That tells them something. Will you always get the outcome that you want? Will the store not come? Maybe it'll still come, but you can put some of the stipulations on how it comes. Start thinking strength in numbers. Quit worrying about that. Oh, they won't help us. We're almost at a point of a constitutional crisis. Okay? We're almost on the threshold of civil war. So stop thinking that. And then for people who gets this replay, and for other people who are telling y'all something similar to what I'm saying, when people laugh at them, you better start to think. You don't have to go out here and act like Rambo, but you better start stocking up. You better start thinking more strategically about the what ifs. Because there's never anything wrong with having a plan. There's never anything wrong with having a plan. The worst thing is not to have a plan to be able to implement it. All right? There's nothing wrong with thinking, what if this happens? And having a plan. And if it doesn't happen, good. But if it does happen, that ain't so good. That's not so good. There's never anything wrong with planning. And some people are like, well, no matter what plans you do, they're going to do what they want to do. There again, sometimes, who was it that said you have to lose to win? You think that just popped up in Fantasia's song? During the Civil War, do you think the North won every battle? No. In whatever war, the war that's going on right now, the big dog hasn't won every battle like we thought. The underdog has won quite a few battles. And think future. Many of us have kids. Some have grandkids. Some have nieces and nephews, children in the neighborhood, younger cousins. Be willing to stand up and voice what you feel. Stand on what you feel. Since you want to keep hollering, we ain't our ancestors, show them. And you don't have to go out of the way to get yourself hurt to do it. But talking about something, like right now, no King protest will be held June 14th across the nation, all 50 states. You got people right now saying, I ain't going to that. Okay, how many times you gonna hear I ain't going to that until it's just so few people saying I ain't going to that? Next thing you know, your ass be out there on the cotton field again. But some people think that's being dramatic. Some people thought it would be dramatic that we would see the police officers, the guard, the military, and federal agents on the streets of any city, and nothing was really going on. A lot of y'all are all about getting illegal people out. I'm all for getting illegal people out. It's not always what you do or what you want, it's how you do it. It's how you do it. And anybody thinking that that's right is crazy. What if China, Russia, the Netherlands, whoever, decided to round up all the Americans that were in their country studying to get an education or doing certain types of study that they can't get here, and throw their military troops all around and camp them? They're not doing anything, and the military troops are laying all on hard floors and don't even have enough food to eat. That's what's going on right now in LA. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So on that note, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. See, but we still on here and everywhere else fussing, fighting, and arguing about stuff that we really have no business fussing, fighting, and arguing about. Worrying about where somebody, what chat they're in, what they're talking about. Criticizing, being judgmental. At what point do we grow out of that? From what I found on here, people don't. Am I perfect? No. Near it? No. But I, along with other people, know when to focus on what's important. When to focus on what's important. Chef says right. He said he ain't shit and he ain't never. Come on, Chef. Ain't never gonna be shit. Never gonna be shit. I mean, he sits there. I have watched old men and women grow old. With the grace of God, we all will grow old. But I have watched them. Some become more evil. Some become less evil. Some get to a point in life when they say, because the best person to have dealings with is a person who knows their flaws, who knows their faults, who can admit those flaws and faults. I tell y'all all the time, I always used to wonder about patience. My patience are too short. Sometimes I do snap. I'm one of those people where I might have to apologize to somebody quick because my patience are just, I will snap. But honestly, from being on this app, I've learned to be a little bit calmer because a lot of times it ain't even worth it. Now, when there's people right there where you can reach out and touch, you can call them. If you're going to waste some anger, put your anger on those people. Not on people that you don't know, probably will never meet, don't know how to act like adults. Now, that being said, and if you're going to do stuff, I'll be petty in a minute. I'll be petty. But when I think about some of the other stuff I see, shit, petty is a part of it. Petty is a part of it. Some people are getting to the point of, y'all saw what happened in Las Vegas. You pow this man twice in the head and his wife because of strikes and a back and forth. And people are thinking, what's so bad about it, y'all, is some people have become desensitized to it. That's not what social media is for. It's not what it's about. Have I had some tips? Heck yeah. Traveling to see somebody? Hell no. Traveling, go on vacation. Travel and put that phone down and give it a break. I don't care who on. Somebody could put their whole life on social media. I might have an opinion about it, but I ain't gonna have no opinion about it every day, all day. I ain't finna go be trying to go find them and see this and go track this and do this. I'm not. It's so much other stuff you could be doing off of the app. There's so many other things you could be doing. Grinding, even hustling, hell. Okay, grinding. All hustlers ain't bad hustlers. And then had the nerve to say it was self-defense. Come on, Chef, talking about self-defense, old lying ass. And I'm sorry, YouTube. This channel ain't made for kids. And I know kids get on here, and I know I got a lot of little gamers that come through here, but Azra and them ain't been through here today. So, Azra, if you hear this replay, I'm sorry, buddy. I got Azra, I got Lemi. I got a couple little kids that come through here. But, you know, and then he's standing in court with his head up high. His head up high. He doesn't look remorseful at all, Chef. He doesn't look remorseful at all. And I'm like, it's not even worth. First of all, it's just leave people alone. When a person asks to be left alone, that should be it. It should be no, oh, it's just social media. Why do you think kids do what they do? That rate is up because it's social media. Adults are just grown kids, okay? Like, leave people alone when they ask to be left alone. And I'm like, the best example is, would you like someone to pick with you and yours like that? No, you be ready to go to the school and fight. But some people, they don't get it because they don't want to get it. And it's just like we were talking about the president who thinks he's a king. A lot of these people who are in Congress could stop this shit. But he's setting the precedents. He's setting the rules. The things that he do, he's making a way for them that whenever they do become in charge and he does get out of the way, then they're going to be like, y'all let him do it. Y'all let him do it. What's the problem? And that's how a lot of people are on this app. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you need to do it. Like I said, if people pick with people, if you pick with me, I'm going to be petty until you stop picking with me. And I might just stop. I might just out of the blue just stop. But this other stuff, I don't like nobody. I might talk about something you did to me, but I don't want to talk about you on there. I mean, I don't feel what is the satisfaction in that? But people do it, and a lot of people who do it aren't even satisfied doing it. They just know that that's what the people want. That's what the people want. They know that that's what the people want. Y'all know I be nosing when I see something look kind of light green. If he ain't remorseful, he gonna spend a lot of time now becoming remorseful. Okay, Chef, he was standing there, and I was just looking at him. I'm like, this man don't look remorseful. He's just looking like. And I'm like, is he a gang member or something? Not to say that he's a gang member. That's what all gang members do. But I'm just saying, he looked like somebody who, I know got caught stealing instead of got caught doing what he did. And then the people on the strip, and I'm like, damn, he right there in Vegas. I love to go to that. There he was on the strip. Right at a couple of the hotels people love to frequent. Right across the street from the Eminem plays and the, just places people love to go when they go to Vegas. Chef says, right, in my city. I was shocked. Okay. Just shocked. So I'm like, and then guess what though? I know people gonna still do what they do, but there should come a point where people have good panels to discuss why does it get to this point? How can you prevent it from getting to this point? We know we can't stop people from doing what they do. We can't stop people from feeling the way they feel. But what are we doing as people on these apps that get to that point? It's crazy. It's wild. And like they say, you never know what someone is going through. Now, some people will say, well, I don't care what he was going through. And me neither. But I'm just saying, because I don't know the details of their situation. You never know what people are going through. And when they're going through something, and you keep pushing that button, or y'all pushing each other's button, back and forth, you don't know what people will be willing to do. And a lot of times, anytime we get like this, it's not worth it for someone you don't know. But people just, it's like they just can't. I said, if you want to be petty, silly, I'm like that. I'll be petty with people. People be doing stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Because hell, even being a little petty like that, get my blood pressure up. So I be like, ain't this a bitch? Chef, you know me. I'm like, look at this bitch. Ain't this a bitch? But I don't want to go nowhere around them because I already established I can't stand them. So why would I risk my freedom behind somebody on the app unless they just, some people just, like I say, what's too far for me may not be too far for the next person. So you have to be mindful that people are human. Every reaction won't always draw an equal reaction. Every action, rather, won't always draw an equal reaction. But it will draw a reaction. Every action will draw an opposite, but sometimes not so equal reaction. Sometimes that reaction can be something else, something serious, okay? And so y'all just pay attention. Pay attention. Maybe you don't want to watch the news every day, but you got to pay attention to what's going on in LA. It is the test for what he wants to happen in Chicago, Ohio, Cleveland, places like that, New York, parts of New Jersey. You see they got the lady they arrested in New Jersey looking at possibly 17 to 18 years just from snatching her hand from an officer. But he just released all those people that raided the Capitol on January 6th. You got to pay attention and stop worrying about not sticking together and worry about the things we need to do to get through this point. Because this is a mess. It's a mess. It's not a hot mess. It's a scorching mess. So I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Again, don't let people bother you, especially not to certain points. We're human. I know it's easier said than done, but to certain points, don't let them bother you and push you to certain points. Don't let people overstress you. If you find yourself in a misery lounge, a location, a platform, a channel, a page, and you're not welcome, and you don't want them in your place, tell them to grab their grip and get on up out of your place, and you grab your grip and get on up out of their place. People you don't know, people that don't do anything for you, don't pay your bills, don't help you, don't love you, let it go. Let them go. Let them go. Learn the art of minding your own business for 12 hours of the day and leaving other people's business alone the other 12 hours of the day. I don't care what they put on here. I might laugh and talk about it, but I got a lot of other stuff I can laugh and talk about. I got a lot of other things I can do. I got a lot of information. We got health and fitness. You got do-it-yourself stuff. You got a lot of stuff. But nobody wants to see that stuff. Nobody wants to see it, sadly. So I'll see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk and Lounge Pride. And thank you guys for coming over here and joining me. Thank you, my bro chef. Thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence came through here. Uno, of course. Uno, Georgia Girl. Thank you, Georgia Girl. All my moderators, all the content creators, all the subscribers, and YouTube. We appreciate you. Thank you for allowing us to have this platform. Sugar Daddy One Williams came through here. Summers Museum, Shattered Men. Uh, Miss B and Fam. Thank you guys for coming over. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys if nothing happens tomorrow. All right? If not, maybe the next day. I got to get out of here because these insects, look, these insects, okay? Like people be peopling, these insects be insecting. Bye, y'all.